Well, a little trivia here. Whose agricultural department has the only working farm in the entire United States? Well, ours does. And we're here at Ellington Agricultural Center to find all about the working farm that's called cul2vate. And I'm here with Joey, who is the executive director and founder of this fantastic garden. And let's start out with the big numbers. How big is this farm?
This farm is 8 acres. So it's right here, as you mentioned, on the bottom, right behind TWRA at Ellington Ag Center. The mission has always been to provide a place that people can link together in helping their neighbor, loving on their neighbor, doing it in tangible ways. That's our mission, is in the two and in the name is growing food and growing people. So we have grown about 50,000 pounds on this site this year. 50% of that goes to acute hunger relief in and around Middle Tennessee, primarily in Davidson County. And the rest of it is sold through Fresh Point, which is Cisco's distribution arm for fresh produce, to provide a living wage for addicts and guys coming out of incarceration. So they work here and generate an income, and they're able to get their feet back under them. So.
Wow, and what a beautiful place to do it. And
it's amazing.
Great horticulture therapy.
Yeah, it's amazing to see what the soil and the plants do for the guys as they're trying to figure out their next steps and adjust some life decisions, and they just need to build a little bit of money and build some, more than money, build some confidence. And so the soil and the plants give them that opportunity to work at their own pace, but also feed others and heal themselves at the same time. So.
What a great program. Okay, well let's start in the spring. So you're growing market crops,
yes,
as well as things that people are going to want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about what you're growing.
In the spring, we start off probably about mid-March with some cold crops, your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your cabbages, Brussels, things like that. After I like to say around May the 6th, 7th, 8th, we get out of that frost fear of, losing crops. We start planting the corn and the beans and the potatoes and all the stuff that goes through the summer months. And then in the fall, you'll see crops out here right now. It's obviously at the end of October. We've had beautiful weather this year, so we've got a lot of the cold crops back in. So the cabbages and the broccolis and stuff, but we're also seeing our pepper crops, as you can see, extend on through, probably to the end of the month based on the weather forecast, and they're still producing volumes every week. So we've had a great year to be a farmer this year.
Tell us how on a space this large that you're keeping the soil healthy, keeping the plants healthy, crop
Sure.
rotation.
Great, that's a great question. We came home, I came back from Africa. I did this over there for 5 years, and was actually trained over there in this. So no formal training, no academic degree in agriculture, but just figured out that I love the dirt and I love the plants. And it was a way to connect with people that really neutralized any discussion. People got to eat and people get hungry, regardless of what their political or religious views are. So it was a great conduit to meet people there, as it is here. We take this land and try to steward it to the best of our abilities. That is cover cropping. It's out, in the field that you drove past when you came in here. You got a lot of cover crop mixtures that go into the winter. Put the nitrogen and stuff back into the soil. We will come through actually during the year and do soil samples and take them up to, we're right here by the Ag Extension office. So we have that proximity gives us the ability to take soil samples up there and figure out, okay, what is it exactly missing? What have we taken from the soil, and what can we put in that field the next growing season that will replenish what we've taken out with the prior crop? So we do a lot of that rotational farming and moving things around. We do have 20 garden plots, so we do have the ability to move things around and get creative on that side. So,
what do you do in the winter?
Well, we do have greenhouses, and we have a boiler system that was given to us by Boiler Supply in Nashville, and they hooked it up, and I tell you, it's one of my favorite pieces because it provides that radiant floor heat to the plants and keeps our soil temperature where we need it. The Tennessee Department of Ag, through a grant program with the FDA, gave us the ability to put some lights in the greenhouse to extend the lumen hours that the plants need. So we actually can grow all year round. It's a really cool place to work in the winter because the inside of that greenhouse is a nice 65, 70 degrees and lit up regardless of how cloudy it is on outside. So I actually enjoy the season of fall and winter as much as anything because it's just different from being outside in the cold. You actually got a place to work around the plants, and they look healthier than these actually. So
in the greenhouse, I see that you have these amazing tomato and pepper plants.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I'm wondering is, how in the world are you managing to get the tomato plants pollinated?
Good question as well. Most people don't ask me that question. In the greenhouse, we do have pollination issues. You need plastic and everything's intended to control the environment from ceiling to floor. So if you notice in the greenhouse, we'll have the plants that are actually trellised up to a cable. We take advantage as much as we can of ceiling to floor height. So we got 13-foot ceilings. We try to grow those and layer them in a way that gives us 4 to 6 months of growth. But you know, as much as I'd like to say we did it with some system or app or something like that, we just take a broom handle and we go down through there and we tap that line once a week, and the plants shake just enough for them to pollinate the flowers underneath them. So I was taught that in South Africa.
That's fantastic. Now tell me about these gorgeous Brussels sprouts and collard greens.
Well, we have, as you mentioned, in the tomato and pepper houses, we have the heat and the lights. We also have 2 houses that they're cold hardy. We have a plastic over them, but we do put the vegetables in them this time of year that don't require the 55 above temperature. So they've got a little bit more of an ability to weather longer, getting enough light. The Brussels, the collards, the kale, stuff like that. And what's fascinating about that is I grew up here in Dixon, Tennessee, so I am Tennessee. And I didn't know you could grow stuff through the winter if you didn't have heat and stuff, but there are plants that we literally, lettuces and kales and stuff like that we'll sort of leave alone, and they'll just keep growing and they'll just keep growing, and the next spring you still got stuff coming off of them. So it's crazy how strong some of these plants can be in this environment. So
that is fantastic. Now, what about your watering system?
Okay.
How are you keeping all of this nice and hydrated?
Yeah, we have, each plot has an irrigation point to it. It's ran through the system on the computer, and then we do an injection system for the greenhouses that mix the nutrients that the plants need. Plants in the greenhouses are grown in perlite, white, rocky material that allows the water to leach through, and the plants gets the nutrition that it needs. So we've got to keep them on a cycle every 2 hours of a few minutes of water. But every square inch of gardening space here has the ability to be watered at any given time off of an iPad, and that just keeps us able to, the summers are unpredictable, the winters are unpredictable here. So if we need 5 minutes of water, let's say on the cabbage, we can run that with just a push of a button. So
wow, you've got a really interesting mix of, basic nature and technology.
Yes. Trying to walk that line of, like what is it that these people and the men that we serve coming out of these backgrounds that would keep them interested, that's outside of, a lot of them come from the distressed counties around the state and whatever, and they've seen farming. There's not a whole lot I can teach them. Again, I wasn't trained as a farmer, so they usually end up teaching me, to be honest, and it's that mix of what keeps them intrigued. Some of them are very smart, and they like the technological side. They want to learn how we're doing this and how we're doing that. Other guys just want to be with the plants all day long. They just want to stay out with the plants. So we find that generally the mix of guys that come in here, they work out their strengths, and the farm just serves as a place where they can heal. So
what a beautiful way to use a farm, feeding people.
Yes.
Completely.
Yes.
In all ways. So you are a complete plants to food to sending it out.
Yeah, seed
process.
To need.
Seed to need. So your people are going to pick everything and package it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are Good Agricultural Practices certified, so it's called GAP. It allows us to distribute to Fresh Point and places that retail that food and get it into the local restaurants, which some of the best chefs in Nashville are using our food. And also it allows us to make sure that from a sanitation and control process that we're getting food to everybody that's clean. And it's a big problem lately. You get these food scares across the country. So what we do is we bring it in a flow process, we check it, we sort it, we grade it, we pack it. Then in the cooler, which is a fairly large cooler in there, we stick the seed to need portion, that's going to the under-resourced communities or food deserts on one side. The other side takes what Fresh Point is going to come and get, sometime during the week. So it works out wonderful. Anything like this has to have a million different partners and people. I do have the benefit of just getting up and talking about it, and a lot of times, but this is a collaborative effort of many people that decided to join hands and join arms regardless of what their views might be, and just love on their neighbor, man. Just try to help the guys that come through the program and try to help the people that need food in Nashville. So
Is there any kind of overwhelming favorite food plant?
For me,
Yeah.
we grow more tomatoes than we do anything, and the joke on the farm is Joey doesn't even eat tomatoes. So I don't like tomatoes, but that tends to be a niche market that is pretty easy to grow. So as far as me, I love the Brussels. The Brussels to me are a challenge to grow. Number one, anybody that's tried to grow them know that they're a challenge. You'll see that they're looking pretty good right now, so it's a good time for you to be here. Maybe next week they won't be so good, but I love them. They cook up well in the cast iron, and my wife and kids love them. So that's my favorite farm food. And you mentioned people. Last year we had 3,000 people from 24 states volunteer on this farm. So it brings people from all over the United States, and 1.5 to 3 hour volunteer service kind of projects. And most of the corporations in Nashville, they'll send their people out for their serve days or whatever. So it's a great blend of people and corporations and faith-based community, and we get everything out here. So it's just, I tell people we got an 8-acre place. It's on the Tennessee Ag Department land, so it really is Tennessee's land. So we just invite everybody to come down, check it out, pick some food, take it home, and eat what's local here. So
Joey, this is so amazing.
thank you.
I pretty much want to literally dig in and stay right here. This is amazing.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, wow, if you're not inspired yet, I would be surprised. But if you want to know more and be even more inspired, go to cul2vate.org and read all about the wonderful things that are going on right here in Tennessee at our agricultural farm.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.